right. Let me close this door. Okay, so sorry for all the confusion. I've literally tried the exact same thing that Rachel has sent me a million times. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. My sleepy eyes just may be seeing something totally off. But Jessica Carey is supposed to be on our call today. I don't know when she's supposed to hop on. So I'm going to share a little bit of information that I had written down that I wanted to say and go over a few things. But first of all, let me just take a breath because that stressed me out just a smidge. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. All right. So I want to go over some things that we've talked about at Summit. We have some new products coming out that I'm really super excited for. If you haven't looked into them, I would do that as soon as we get off this call. I've got the one thing I'm most excited about is the collagen peptides. And at first I was like, what is collagen peptides? But done a little research and I'm pretty excited. I bought some at Summit. They had some at the store there, and it's pretty reasonable price. So it's something. Hold on, Rachel's texting me. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right, yeah, we're good. So she's probably gonna hop on late. All right. So the collagen peptides is a new product, and it reminds me of like the little Energize scoop. It's just a little container and the powder's white, and you just put a little scoop. You can put it in your coffee, you can put it in your Energize, you can put it in anything because it's tasteless, hot, cold, whatever you want to put in, you can put it in there. And it's supposed to help the growth of your hair, of your nails, and the appearance of your skin with wrinkles. So that's kind of cool. And then we're going to have the pumpkin spice Shakeology coming back out, which was a huge hit. And we're also going to have a Christmas one, the chocolate peppermint mocha or peppermint chocolate mocha. I don't know the exact process of those words, but it's in that area. But let's see. We also have the MM100 codes. Make sure that you have utilized those. And if you have an account for your husband, he also has those codes too. So you may have just gotten 3 and then he got 3. So now you have a total of 6 codes that you can give people a $10 discount off of. So make sure that you utilize those. And me and Rachel talked about emailing or messaging your discount coaches. They just signed up for the discount, but they got those codes too. And this could be a good opportunity for them to really consider the business part of it. Just say, hey, not sure if you got this weird email that gave you some discount or some promo codes, but you can use those to invite people to our MM100 challenge group. And, just start that conversation and see if they have 2 or 3 friends that they would like to invite and give those promo codes to. And then that gives them Success Club points. It gives them commission, and they may like it and they may want to continue to coach. But it also gives you elite points, and it gives, helps your volume. So those are some good things that you can think about. All right. Summit 2020. Y'all, you got to be there. That's all I know. That's all I'm going to tell you. Andrea, I want to see you, okay? I want to see you Summit 2020 back in NOLA, all right? Where it all started for me. So make sure that you're there, because going to these events really fill your cup. They just make it all worth it, and they put everything that we're doing into like it just brings it all together, and it makes so much sense. And being in the community, that's what I heard so much this past weekend at Summit, was you belong here, the community of it. And that's just really what reminds me of why I do what I do. Because there's going to be days, it's going to get into where I'm wanting to kind of give a little talk about. There's going to be days where you're struggling to hit Success Club, or months that you're struggling to hit Success Club. You feel like nobody is paying attention, but they are, guys. They are. And coming to these events is what I'm trying to say, shows people that, and it proves it to yourself too, that these events mean something. It just really fuels your fire. I have like this huge fire going now. I call it a church camp high. You go to church camp, you get on fire for God, and then you leave and you're still on fire. But then if we're not careful, if we don't keep feeding and fueling it, if we're not careful, then we're gonna, start stepping back and questioning everything. But that's when we got to stay involved. We got to be on these team calls. We've got to just step out in faith, pay the money for your summit ticket. If you just look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much. Not for everything that you get, and for the friendships that you're going to build. Like, this is where it has all changed for me, is summit, and working hard to get to these it's Rachel again, sorry, to get to the retreats, because the community is everything. Community is everything in this business, and this is where I have really found my place, honestly. And being a mom this past year, I've went through so many changes, and I know that all you moms can totally relate. But the first year as a new mom, it's hard, and I'm gonna get emotional. But we moved. We had a baby. We moved to a new town when he was 3 weeks old, and I started a new job. So new baby, new town where I didn't know many people, new job, new daycare. Like, my life just got really turned upside down, and all in good ways. But it was a lot of stress came along with that, and I found community, and I found support in you guys and in what we do. And that has really been 110% believe God, yes, always first, but I 110% believe that if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for coaching, that I would probably be in a hard, scary place. And I hear a lot of women talk about postpartum depression, and I really feel like that could have been worse for me if it wasn't for these fitness programs, if it wasn't for watching you guys show up and being responsible for a team of my own. Like, it just kept me thinking positive. And the personal development, if I wouldn't have had that before I went through this, I'm telling you, it would have been tough. It would have been really, really tough, because it was already tough. So with that, with saying that, there's people out there who need this. And I used to shy away so hard from being open about being a Beachbody coach. Like, I wouldn't want to talk about it. I would feel like a turtle going in the shell when somebody wanted to bring it up, because a side of me was kind of embarrassed, like, oh, you do that MLM business, and I was scared to talk about it. But now that I understand what it's done for me and how it's helped me and the positive impact it's had on my life and my family's life, I'm like, dang right, I do that. I show up and I help other people, and it is helping me. It's helping my family, and I'm proud of it. And I'll be honest, it took a long time to come to that point, because there are people who are going to roll their eyes, or give you that negative vibe about it. And you've got to come to a place where you're okay with that, because without a shadow of a doubt that you are a positive impact on somebody's life, because there's a mama at home going through all those struggles and having all these weird emotional hormonal feels, and first of all, you got to figure out that new body. Like, that's a process in its own, right? But that mama at home needs that support, and you showing up and proving that it can be done is giving her hope. She's not saying anything because she's not ready to yet, but she's watching you, and you're giving her some positivity, and that is what keeps me going, and it needs to keep you going too. All right. So one last thing, don't lose your focus on why you're here. Roadblocks don't mean you quit. I see so many people come into this coaching opportunity, and they're in it for just like a month or two, and they quit. And that bothers me so bad. I just want to drive over to their house, and I want to be like, what's your problem? I'm going to go teacher mode on them. And I just want to be like, it's supposed to be hard. You signed up for hard. That's what Melanie said this past weekend. You signed up for this. That's what it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to struggle. And that's why they pour personal development into us, because you are becoming a better person. When you stepped into coaching, when you stepped into coaching, you weren't the best version of you. You stepped in it because you want to become the best version of you, and you want to help others become the best version of them too. And that's a process. It's not even a destination. I think it's a journey that we're going to keep traveling on, and we're going to keep seeing weaknesses within ourselves, and we're going to keep improving in those. And so many people just come into this opportunity and they stop because, well, somebody didn't respond to their message after they invited, or they didn't hit a goal, or they maybe aren't committed to their own goals. So you have to just stop and reflect. If I quit when it got hard, I would have quit a long time ago. And it's going through those hard moments that really move your business forward. And that's what people need to see anyways. They need to see that when it gets hard, you're moving past it. So what I do is, when I get really flustered and I get in my own head and I'm like, what am I doing? And can I even do this? I just stop and I reflect and I ask myself, okay, what's really bothering you? What's going on? Is it people aren't responding? People are ghosting you? Like, what's giving you anxiety? And usually the reason why we procrastinate or we can't accomplish something is because we're stressed out, and we're trying to, it's our brain's mechanism to flee from it and not lean into it. And so if you find yourself getting frustrated, just lean into it and reflect and ask yourself, what can I do? What is one baby step that I can do to make it better, to move in the right direction? All right. So reflect. That's the best way to kind of get over that hump and ask yourself, what do I need to do to move forward? How can I make this better? And sometimes, guys, it's just not in the cards, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that, well, because June sucked, it doesn't mean that July's gonna suck, or August. It's just, you had a rough month. Keep moving, keep doing your vitals, and just pray about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I wrote down like reflection as a you have to adjust your sail. A sailboat, hits winds in all kinds of all different directions, and you just adjust the sail. And that's kind of how our coaching system works, is we just adjust our sail when things get a little windy. All right, so I think Jessica is about to hop on. She says getting on now, and that's perfect timing, because that's literally all I had to say. Oh, one more thing. I have a success sister, and her name's Chelsea, and we talk weekly, and we have committed every day, because every day is super hard, to sometimes tell ourselves to commit to a power hour. But if we can commit to a workout program and we can wake up 5 to 6 days a week and do our workout, why the heck can we not wake up and commit to a power hour? So if you can commit to a workout program, you can commit to a power hour every day. Okay? That's my goal, is to commit every day. I've lacked in that. I've slacked in it. But I'm going to change it. Every day, I'm committing to a power hour. If I can commit to my personal health and goals, then I can commit to a power hour. Okay? All right, so that's kind of what I want to leave with you. And we have Jessica on, so I'm going to turn it over and shut my mouth and drink my coffee.
I'm so sorry. I think we got the time zone mixed up.
That's okay, no problem. We were having some issues anyways.
Okay.
So it worked out. No big deal.
Good deal. All right. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
All right. Well, so Rachel just asked me to kind of share my story a little bit and maybe my biggest takeaways from Summit. So I've been a coach for a little over 5 years now. My name's Jessica Carey. I am a mom of 5 kiddos. from Kansas, married to my high school sweetheart for ever, I don't know, 16 years, I think now. I started coaching, like I said, a little over 5.5 years ago as a customer. I started as a customer. I saw one of my high school friends working out and getting really great results after having her kiddos. And so I wanted to be a part of it, right? Like I just wanted to lose weight. I'd been a yo-yo dieter for years, diet pills, the whole thing. I was convinced that's the only way I could lose weight. And so after I had come down off of one of those diet pill kind of binges, I was down 35 pounds. And I thought, man, if I could work out on top of this, maybe I could get some really great results. So I was definitely not in the healthiest mind space, when I started, but that was my story. That's where I came from. So, I started working out and she had me get this shake and I was like, I'll try it. I've done Slim Fast before. What's the difference? I'll give it a try. And then so I got T25, the DVDs, the whole thing, spent $205 on a set of DVDs and a bag of Shakeology. So when people want to give me grief about a year of 160, the whole thing, I'm like, no. Like if I could go back, I would spend 10 times what I spent just on those DVDs if I knew then what I know now, So it came with this meal plan. It was like a 3-day quick fix meal plan or so. I can't remember. It was like a 3-day quick start. And I was like, okay, perfect. It said exactly what to eat, when to eat it. And I was like, I'm going to follow this. Well, I had been on those diet pills for so long. I had been just drinking coffee like all day and barely eating anything at dinner. It was so much food. Like to me, I was like, I told my coach, I was like, if I gain weight this week, I'm so mad at you. I'm going to punch straight in the throat. Like I was like feisty, like this is way too much food. There's no way. This shake is huge. I couldn't even finish the whole thing. And so that week after being plateaued for almost 2 months on diet pills, I lost 4 pounds, eating more than I had ever been eating. And I was like, okay, clearly I've been doing it wrong. And right then, seeing that scale change after eating so much, I knew my relationship with food was messed up. Something was off. And so I just really started to dig into the nutrition, like, okay, maybe I don't have to starve myself to lose weight. Maybe there is a better way, and I started feeling really strong rather than just trying to get skinny. I started feeling strong, which I had never felt before. And so literally it's history after that. Like I fell in love with the process. I was invested in those challenge groups. And they were small groups, right? Like my coach had just started. We had like maybe 5 people in those groups, but man, we were in it. Like all 5 of us held each other accountable. There was no way to hide, right? So like when people are like, oh, I don't have enough people, I'm like, oh my gosh, small groups, like if everyone's like super invested is perfect. It's like the best because there's nowhere to hide. It's not like, oh, they won't know if I don't check in today. No, we'll know because there's only 5 of us, So I just totally dove in. I started sharing on Facebook before I ever signed up as a coach. I was like, I'm having a chocolate strawberry shake for breakfast. What? Like, I was like so excited. Lost 4 pounds this week. Like, what is this life? Like, I was just like shouting it from the rooftops. And my coach was like, Jess, like, you should be doing this. I'm like, oh, no. Look, I got 3 kids. At that time, I had 3 kids. We're in the middle of wrestling season. I don't got time for that. Here, my friend wants some information on Shakeology. Here's her name. I was like sending people to my coach. And she's like, if you're sure, that's fine, but I really think you could do this. And one day I just kind of sat down. I'm like, what's one more thing? I was coaching middle school cheerleading. I had 3 kids. I was on the wrestling board. I was working part-time at a wedding venue. I was cleaning houses on the side. What's one more thing? And so I did. I signed up. And I've been 52 months in Success Club since then. I've never missed a month. And I think that the biggest thing is that I'm still excited about my journey. I still get excited. Through 2 pregnant, I've, since then had 2 more babies and have had the opportunity to show that this is a true, real lifestyle. Like, I'll never take a diet pill ever again in my entire life. I know that this process works because I've seen it work not only when I started in a bad place in my own journey, but then 4 months later, I got pregnant. Like after I started, 4 months later, I got pregnant, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be the true test, right? Like, let's see what this really has. I'm not going to be down 35 pounds when I start this next time, you know? And so that kind of takes me to my coaching journey, because the month after I found out I was pregnant, my coach quit. And I had just gotten started. I hit my first 2 months of Success Club. So I take that back. I did miss 1 month of Success Club in those 5.5 years. I hit Success Club my first 2 months, found out I was pregnant, and I missed my 3rd month for Success Starters. My coach quit. I was pregnant. I didn't feel good. It was like the last week of T25. I couldn't push through, didn't finish T25. And I think right then was a defining moment. I should, in all aspects, I had every reason to quit, right? Like, my coach isn't doing, I don't know anybody else. I don't feel good. I don't want to do, you know, so, but for whatever reason, there was a calling in my heart that said, you're made for this. Like, you love it. Like, why would you stop? And so I just kept going. I reached out to Melanie. I was like, so I think you're my coach now. You're listed in my back office. Like, my coach didn't tell me she was quitting. Like, literally just like popped in one day and Melanie was listed as my coach. And I was like, you know, that's not intimidating at all. Let me just message Melanie Mitro. Anyway, so, and for 2.5 years, you guys, my coaching business kind of just stayed right there. I was kind of like, I never really finished a program. I kind of just hit Success Club here. And, you know, I hit Success Club, but I wasn't really like in it to build it. So for 2.5 years, I was an Emerald coach. And I was in every Push to Diamond, all of the Push to Diamonds that Melanie ran. I could probably run one in my sleep at that point. Like, I knew all of the things. And I think that it still rings true today that we have everything we need. We have all the knowledge. It's just right here. That's the difference. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get over that hump that I was actually able to run a team. I was actually able to build a business and be successful. I was just kind of like, I'm the inspiring one. I'll cheer you on. I love Beachbody. Like, I don't know if I never took myself serious. I still don't know what the key was, except that I remember the day I was at my son's baseball game on the phone with Melanie. I was like, I am sick and tired of being mediocre. And she was like, okay, well, what are you going to do? I said, I will be diamond by the end of the month. And that was it. Like, in my mind, there was no other option. I could not just stay. Like, am I just going to be an emerald forever? Like, I see all these people going on these trips and being recognized. Like, why wouldn't I put in the work to make that happen for myself? And I decided it was going to happen. And I feel like I forced my hand in it. Like, I didn't have any working coaches. Even after all this time, I did not have any working, like, solid, consistent coaches. And I forced my hand and I made it happen. I built that diamond. And for that to just be in my back office and see it, I was like, okay, I did that. Like, what else can I achieve? And I never dropped from diamond after that. I just kept going. And I did. For those of you pushing to diamond, I did. I built, let me think, who did I build? I think it was my sister and my husband. And I just, all those loyal Shakeology drinkers, you know, 2.5 years, I had a lot of old customers, you know, and I just reached out and I gave them my discount and I led with the business. You know, I tried everything I could until I made that happen. And once I did that and I was added to like the Rising Stars group, which I like had pined over for years just to be a part of that and like have coffee and conversation with them every Wednesday. Like, once I was a part of that, I couldn't let it go. And I felt like I kind of raised my bar a little bit. Like, here now I'm surrounded with these people who are diamond and above, and they're pushing for more. And then I, you know, reached out and we had success pods, you know, with people that were just up ahead of me. And I feel like that really, you know, raised my bar as well, made me level up. So I think, and it was just persistence after that. Like I said, I had 2 more kids, you know, showing very openly and honestly what it took to get back, you know, to feeling my best. And to be completely honest, it was the business that pulled me back. You know, it wasn't, a jean size doesn't motivate me, right? Like, I wasn't like, oh, I got to get back into my pre-baby jeans. No, like I needed to get back to me. And so this business forced me in the very best way to make myself a priority, even when I had a newborn, even when I had 4 kids and I was stuck in bed because I just had another C-section, like all of those things, like it gave me purpose and focus when you can get sucked in that newborn black hole, right? And that stay-at-home mom black hole. Like it gave me something outside. And sometimes it was a little too much. And I was like, I just can't, I don't have anything for it. But after that passed, I knew that was, that's me. That's when you brand yourself, right? When you are truly, authentically you, that's you. And you can come back to you, at any time. And that's such a blessing to me and my family. So after all of this persistence and everything, I just kept going, kept pouring into my challenge groups, kept pouring into my challengers. And I had some really amazing people rise to the top. And we ended 2019 for the very first time I walked across the stage at Summit as a 3-star 2019 Premier Coach, Premier Team. And it was like the culmination of everything. It was the first time I had more than one person at Summit with me, and I cried like every single day. Just seeing all of those people in my team shirt, like in my group photos. We took up a whole row at the Rise Up event. Like it was like the culmination of all of those years of doing it by myself and never, feeling like maybe no one was ever going to catch this vision. Like once you see it through someone else's eyes, it's like, that is why I kept going. And I told my team at Summit, the reason it took me 5 years to get to where we are right now is because I had to become the leader that they needed me to be. I had to go through every failure. I had to go through coaches quitting and, go through all of those things because I was supposed to be right there with those people. And so just know, wherever you are, whether you feel like you're in that valley or you feel like you're just not picking up momentum, it's for a purpose. There's a reason you're going through all of that. I kind of jumped over this in the middle. So I went diamond, and I was invited to my first leadership retreat with Melanie, right? And I was like, okay, this is happening. Like I've arrived. Like, and I decided at that retreat I was gonna push for 2-star. This was back in like 2016. And I was going to push for 2-star. I was going to make it happen. I had one working coach that was doing a great job. And I was going to build my sister, and I was going to be 2-star because I wanted that second business center, right? Well, a week after we started qualifications, my working diamond said she's quitting. I was like, oh, perfect. That's great. We're quitting. Okay. And there's just nothing you can do. She's super sweet. We're still friends. But it just wasn't a good time for her. And so she literally signed her business center over to a new coach, that didn't know anything about being a coach, let alone keeping a diamond business center together. And so I was literally trying for 6 weeks to keep her diamond alive, keep my sister alive, and keep me alive. And it was like this. And it crumbled on Christmas Eve that year. We did not hit 2-star quals. We ended it with like 15 PV, too short, like horrible. And guess what I did? I was like, never again. I'm never qualifying again. I'm never pushing again. If it happens, it happens. I'm just going to sit back. And guess what happened in 2017? I stayed diamond all year long. I didn't recruit working coaches. I didn't do anything. I still hit Success Club. I was still helping people. I still loved my journey, but I never pushed myself because I was afraid. I totally shut down, sabotaged myself, told myself it wasn't worth it, told myself I couldn't do it again, and just stayed stagnant. And I don't really know what changed, except that in the beginning of 2018, my rock star coach came out of a challenge group, and she was like, we are doing this together. Like, I want you to succeed. I want me to succeed. And I was like, yeah, we are. And it just, one person, one little thing, it doesn't even have to be a person, but just one thing can just turn everything around. And we did, and we just ran with it. 2018 was incredible. And I remembered why I loved the push to begin with. But it was different because I had people matching my pace. And so you cannot do this alone. You cannot do this business alone. You shouldn't do it alone. Like, that's not what it's about, right? It's not a one-woman show. And that's what I was trying to do for a really long time. But at the end of the day, I wasn't fulfilled either. Like, I was going on these leadership retreats, I was going to Summit, but I was by myself, right? Like, I had my success partners, but I was by myself, and that didn't feel good. I needed somebody else to see it. And so that's why this summit was so special. Just having somebody, actually 12 of us there, seeing it, feeling it, that made it all worth it for me. I mean, that's my story. I don't really know. I think the biggest thing from Summit was the community. So I got my cup filled from Summit because, like I said, I saw it through their eyes. And I saw so many different leaders just sharing so openly and honestly about the struggles they've had, just like that story I just shared about the 2-star quals. You know, everyone goes through things like that, but it's the perseverance that you have, the belief, your why, like, that ties you to, you know, this mission and your vision and your team, that's going to carry you through. So, and I think, you know, the main thing that my whole team took away from Summit is, just like I said, you hear all of these people talk, you go to these trainings, and everyone's saying kind of the same thing, right? They're saying the same thing, just in different ways. They're saying, you know, the 4 vital behaviors, and, you know, being consistent and finding your why and casting your vision. And, you know, there's nothing I took away from Summit that was like, oh, I've got to do that. I have to change everything I'm doing. I'm doing this wrong. I got to do. No, like, it's all right here. Like, I have Melanie Mitro's cell phone number. I should be like a double 15-star, right? Like, technically, if all it is knowledge, we should all be there, right? Because we have all the things, but it just comes down to our belief, and our mindset around it. And we're the only one that gets in our way, you know, just like I did back in 2017. I completely stalled my own business because I was afraid. So I'll never let that happen again. And so when I got back from Summit, I drew out, you know, my road to 15-star, and I told my team, look, if I don't put 15-star on my board, it's doing you an injustice, because if I don't put every single one of you down, that means I don't believe you can do it. And that's not fair. Of course I do, you know? So I got to dream big. I got to shoot for the stars if I want them to also. So that's what I'm doing. We're shooting for 15-star by Summit of next year, 10-star by the end of the year this year. And we're just going to freaking go for it. And I'm going to breathe belief into my team, because I know that anything is possible in this business. If Emily Favre can go from diamond to 15-star in 9 months, I know that my team can absolutely go 10-star this year. So I've just got to believe that, and I have to keep going every single day, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't feel like people are listening or believe in themselves, or, you know, are putting in the work as much as I am. I know more people are out there that are just like me. So we just keep going. I don't know what else. I'll just keep talking. If you guys have questions, I do better with that. I can spit fire, but I need a subject sometimes.
No, you're good. You've actually, like, kind of hit on stuff that I was talking about before you even came in. Like, I was telling them, well, see, I was enrolled for like a year and a half, just stuck there. And it was because of my own fault. Like, I was doing like your, you know, the mediocre stuff. I was posting my workout selfie, but I wasn't like in it, if that makes sense. And, so I was telling them last year, this time, almost a year ago, I had a new baby, and we moved to 2.5 hours away from where we were to a new house, new town. I had to go to a new job. So new baby, new house, new town, new job. And my world was like flipped upside down, all in good ways. But with those pregnancy, postpartum hormones, like, I was all over the place, and my anxiety was out the roof. And that's what I was telling them, like, this is what kept me mentally, like, sane, I guess you'd call it, because I probably would have lost my mind.
Yep.
But having this tribe of women, having a program to stay committed to, my group of girls to keep encouraging, my personal development, like, I think all that just played a huge role in me staying positive. And I know that there's so many other women out there who need this as much as I needed it. And that's what's kind of fueling my fire is people need this. They need it, and they need it like right now. And they're scared to reach out. And so we can't hold back, because it's a disservice to a mom who's sitting at home and all of her emotional feels and doesn't know where she belongs.
Yeah.
Because my son struggled with ear infections. I was up 2 or 3 times a night, and then going to a full-time job, coming home trying to work my business. Like I was just drained. But it was the support. It was these women that kept me happy and kept me motivated. And I feel like there's so many out there who need this. And that's what's kind of keeping me focused and saying, why not? Why not me? Why not? I'm going to go save the world.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I think people don't know that they can be a part of this.
Right.
They don't know unless we invite them. Like I give this analogy all the time to my team. Like we could throw this most amazing, beautiful party and have the beautiful decorations and an amazing venue and this DJ and like everything. And we show up the day of the party and nobody's there. Well, it's because we didn't send the invitations. Like we have to send the invites. And I know it's scary and I know it's hard. And I know sometimes you're kind of like, I don't know what to say, but you have to start that conversation and you have to make real connections and you have to make it, you have to give that invitation because they just don't know. We're kind of the cool kids club, guys. Like we've got a really cool thing going on, like, but people don't know they can be a part of it unless we ask them. When you extend that hand, like more times than not, since we are so genuine and we're so different from other people, they're going to take it as a huge compliment. They're going to be like, oh, wow, like, gosh, thank you. You think I would be good at what you do? Are you crazy? I could never do what you do. That's usually what we get. But more often than not, I get that kind of answer instead of like no, I don't do those kind of business,
Right.
But that's the fear we have, is because other businesses have kind of made our business model in a bad light, but you have to know that we're different and people see us differently. Because we are different, so just be confident in that. And what we have, we're not selling candles, y'all. Like, I love me a candle. I love me some mascara, but this is like life-changing stuff, right? Like you could literally be giving people more time with their children. You could be getting people off of their medicine. Like it's big, big time stuff, so.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Did anyone else have any other questions?
You did awesome.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I just share. And that's what we do. We just share. I never have scripts. Melanie's like, will you talk on this call? I'm like, that's fine, but I don't make no slides. I know my strengths, and that's not one of them. So just keep sharing. Y'all have a great team. I was going to be in Dustin with you guys, but it's not going to work out this year. So you guys have an amazing retreat. It's going to be so much fun. I love Rachel so, so much. She's like my soul sister. So you guys are in incredible hands, and I love seeing your team grow. It's so exciting.
Thank you so much. I know I've gotten an extra fire lit under me from your conversation, so I appreciate you showing up for us.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, y'all have a good Saturday, and go be with your family. Go get focused, and let's just do it. Let's be game changers.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, y'all.